Hey, everybody, it's Mark Schultz with DigitalAircraft. And today I have a very interesting subject. And the reason that it's interesting is because it has a very significant impact on the aviation industry today. And we're going to focus on parts and materials and the ability to be able to deliver them successfully and digital technology. And in order to be able to do that, I brought an expert with me here today, Waqar. Waqar, thanks and welcome. And I'm glad to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for this humble introduction. I appreciate it.
Very good. Excellent. Hey, listen, can we just start out by having you tell everybody really just who you are and what do you do, please?
Yeah, so I'm from TraCert, and TraCert is a company in Estonia. It's a startup, and it provides simple solution to complex problems. For example, right now there's a problem in the like everywhere. I think aviation industry or any kind of industry that makes parts that has different kind of documents, and it's difficult to keep track of those documents. So what we do is we use blockchain technology and cloud storage, and we bring them together to provide you, the user, suppliers, OEMs, to have a better service, better track of their documents.
Yeah, well, there are absolutely a lot of business challenges that we're faced with and potential solutions and alternatives. And you know that I'm passionate about digital. And so I'd like to just jump in and have some conversations with you about that, if that's okay. All right.
Oh yeah. I know your passion. You're extremely passionate about it. Yeah. I love
Very
it.
good. Very good. Well, let's start out with this. Is that let's talk a little bit about the business challenges that people are really faced with. Is it what do you think are some of the early business challenges that people are faced with, maybe surrounding materials or availability of materials to start with?
I think it's really simple to keep track of the documents associated with those parts. So what's happening is that many people don't even know where their parts are. For example, if they're ordering something, if they're getting something made, or if they have integrated some part already into their machinery, their plane in aerospace industry, then they need to keep track of that. And what's happening is that right now paper documentation is being used by many companies in aerospace, and what happens is that the documents themselves, they get disintegrated, they get destroyed. Even if they're not destroyed, then you can't keep track of those. How? Because there's so many documents. There are like thousands, hundreds of thousands of documents. How do you know? How do you keep track of, oh, this document belongs to this part, this document belongs to this part? And even if you can, how do you store them? There's a lot of cost involved with that. And yeah, and I can I can go on and on and on, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, Waqar, just last week I was at a conference, in the industry. I was moderating a panel, and there were two gentlemen that worked at different engine shops and facilities, and they told me about one of the big challenges that they have is actually getting the parts that they need to be able to accomplish things. And so, I'm obviously very, very interested in how can access to parts and materials be improved, out there. And so if keeping better track of them is one particular, solution that we potentially can have, I definitely want to talk to you about that. Before we jump to maybe kind of what some of the solutions are, I understand there's other people that are focused on, how do we implement greater digital, or some of the challenges that we have surrounding digital, or you brought up the word blockchain. So what are the challenges surrounding digital and blockchain in the industry today?
I think one of the challenges is that people don't even know what blockchain is. And when they hear blockchain, is that they get a bad taste in their mouth, as if, someone's going to, scam them or something. But blockchain is nothing like that. Blockchain is basically a technology that allows you, the user, to keep whatever data you have. It could be documents, it could be any file, as it is. Simple. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really good. So let me ask a couple of questions about solutions that might exist, in the industry today. So if I go back to our challenge about not knowing, the parts, where they are, and not having maybe aggregated collection of that information, one of the challenges that I've seen for, many, many years is there's hundreds and thousands of suppliers out there, and they're basically all in the process of supplying, parts and materials, to people that are working on engines or working on airplanes. And so how is looking at a technology like this going to help us better in keeping track of those parts and where they are and how we can access them? How is what you're doing addressing that?
I think there are many things that can improve that can be improved if this technology implemented. So what's happening right now is that if digitalization is implemented, and with digitalization, if you use blockchain and cloud storage as what TraCert does with Cert-Trace, then what's going to happen is that you would be able to keep track of your parts, like on your fingertips. You can just type in the part, type in the part number, whatever thing that you've associated with that document, then you can access it. Also, once you have that document stored, you can manage your inventory in a way so that you can order your parts in advance. You can basically implement just-in-time inventory management system. You can use demand forecasting. You can use automate inventory management system. And what it does, it allows you or the clients or the companies, big companies, small companies, to save money basically, and put more money towards where that money matters, or that problem matters, instead of just managing the documents.
Okay, let me dig in a little bit deeper. I want to better understand what the potential solution is that TraCert, is really providing. Is that I know that we have a problem today where
Yeah.
there isn't really sufficient information about, all the parts that are out there and where are they and what's their compliance status and things like that. All right. So what is it that you're really doing in a solution? What do you call it? What are you doing that potentially helps bring that information together in a more consolidated manner?
Yeah, so TraCert basically, in TraCert we provide two solutions, and those solutions are two products: Cert-Trace and GuardDoc. And Cert-Trace is more focused towards aerospace, and what it is basically blockchain-powered document archiving management system. And you can use it to share your documents. You don't have to actually share your document. You can just use QR code that once you upload the document on the Cert-Trace tool, then you receive a QR code, and then you can share your documents, and only those people who have the access to that certain documents can access it. So it's safe and secure and extremely reliable. Plus, you can store your documents for a long time. Long after we'll be gone, those documents will not be gone. Those documents will be there.
Okay, and does the using the word blockchain
Yeah.
does it help me understand how that fits in, and how does that help authenticate the document itself that exists?
Sure. So basically, what in aerospace industry, not only in aerospace industry, but in, I think, now more and more industries, they have this requirement to keep the documents as they are. Because if they're altered, then how can anyone trust those documents? So simply put, blockchain allows our service, Cert-Trace, the tool, to keep them as they are, unalterable. And this is one of those things. And also, and once they're unalterable, then once they get archived, and I think this is the perfect solution for those companies that are looking to track their parts, store their documents and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's I'm seeing is that a broad ability to be able to take a lot of suppliers and documents and information and bring it together into a commonly accessible kind of environment. Number two is that I know I've actually personally seen companies which will alter records because they didn't quite meet, the requirements, and they go, well, it's okay, I can alter them. I've seen them actually do that. And then number three, I've seen false documents, that exist, and they really need to be kept track of. And so if we take all those things into consideration, basically what I hear you telling me is that you're putting solutions in place to be able to help us to optimize that and to prevent some of those things.
And I think one thing I want to mention is that a huge European aircraft manufacturing company, they did an internal audit to find out how much does it cost them if they use paper documentation. And when they did that, it cost them, and the data revealed that it cost them 30 million euros per year. And that was only handling of the documents. Now imagine how many small other costs that are being spent, and then they don't even know. So yeah.
I think that really makes a really big significant difference. Now, one of the things Waqar and I have talked about is that we're going to be doing some additional conversations about this. We're going to be doing a webinar in the future so that people can better, understand this, because a lot of times when people hear these things, they've heard them in the past, they don't maybe completely understand it. And so we're going to put a little bit of extra effort into helping people to understand this, and how does it come together, and what's the possibility or the potential of actually using it, in different businesses that exist, whether you're a supplier or an MRO or an OEM, or whether you're an airline, how does this actually come together? And so, Waqar, thanks for sharing this initial information with us today. And I really appreciate, the knowledge that you've put into it. And what I wanted to tell people out there is that, keep an eye out, because we will be having some additional information, which is posted, on social media, but also we'll be doing a webinar, and we'll give you information about how to access that. But thank you so much. I appreciate your passion and enthusiasm to solving the digital challenges that are out there, because it's been one of mine for many, many years, Waqar. Thank you.
And Mark, thank you for having me. And I love your passion. I wish I had the same kind of passion and smile as you have when you talk about aerospace. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Look forward to it. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today. And I hope to see you in our next information sharing. Fair winds and following seas, and have a great day. Bye.